is something you carry that others can sense the moment you enter a room. A rare aura that only true empaths possess. And Carl Jung's hidden research reveals why this invisible energy makes you both magnetic and vulnerable. Jung discovered that true empaths don't just feel emotions. They radiate what he called the wounded healer frequency, an energetic signature forged through pain, but transformed into something far more powerful. This aura isn't born from natural goodness, but from psychological alchemy that most people never achieve. In his private notes, Jung documented how this rare empathic aura operates on multiple dimensions simultaneously. It can heal others simply through presence, but it also attracts both light and shadow in ways that can either elevate or destroy the empath who carries it. The most shocking part, Jung realized that this aura becomes dangerous when empaths don't understand its true nature. Without conscious awareness, it becomes a beacon for energy vampires while slowly consuming the empath from within. Join me as we descend into Jung's most profound insights about the invisible energy field that surrounds true empaths, and why understanding this rare aura is the difference between being a wounded healer and a sovereign one. Because here's what Jung discovered that modern psychology still refuses to acknowledge. Your empathic aura isn't a gift you were born with. It's a psychological survival mechanism that transformed into something sacred through what I call traumatic alchemy. Jung wrote, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." But for empaths, becoming who you truly are means first understanding why your nervous system developed this extraordinary sensitivity. It wasn't random. It was adaptive. Think about this from Jung's perspective on psychological development. He observed that empaths often emerged from childhood environments where emotional survival depended on hypervigilance. You learned to read micro-expressions before you could read words. You developed radar for emotional danger because your safety depended on anticipating the emotional weather around you. But here's what Jung realized that most therapists miss. This survival mechanism didn't just help you navigate childhood trauma, it literally rewired your brain to operate at frequencies that most people can't access. Your mirror neurons became hyperactive. Your limbic system became extraordinarily responsive. Your entire nervous system became what I call an emotional antenna. Modern neuroscience confirms what Jung intuited decades ago. Dr. Ella. Aaron's research on highly sensitive persons shows that empaths process sensory information more deeply in the brain regions associated with awareness, emotion, and empathy. But Jung understood something deeper. This neurological difference creates an actual energetic field that others can perceive. But that's not the most extraordinary part. The most extraordinary part is how Jung discovered that this empathic aura functions like what he called psychological radar. It doesn't just receive energy, it actively transmutes it through unconscious alchemical processes. Jung observed that when empaths enter a room, they unconsciously begin what I call energetic archaeology. They dig beneath surface presentations to uncover the emotional truth that others are hiding even from themselves. Your aura literally reads the shadow projections that people carry. Here's how this actually works. Based on Jung's understanding of the collective unconscious. Stage 1. The energetic scan. Your empathic aura automatically attunes to what Jung called feeling-toned complexes, the unconscious emotional patterns that drive people's behavior. You sense their unprocessed grief, their hidden rage, their suppressed fear before they've even acknowledged these emotions exist. Stage 2. The unconscious absorption. Because your psyche developed to be permeable for survival reasons, you begin absorbing these energies without conscious choice. Jung called this participation mystique, the unconscious identification with others' psychological states. Stage 3. The alchemical process. Here's where Jung's understanding becomes revolutionary. Your empathic nervous system doesn't just absorb emotional energy, It processes it through what he termed the transcendent function. You unconsciously transform others' raw emotional material into wisdom, insight, and healing potential. This is why people feel better after being around you, even when you haven't done anything specific. Your aura has literally processed their shadow material and reflected back a more integrated version of their emotional truth. But Jung warned about something crucial. This process only works consciously. When empaths remain unconscious of their alchemical nature, they become what I call emotional sponges instead of psychological alchemists. But here's where Jung's research becomes alarming. Your rare empathic aura creates what he called archetypal attraction patterns that draw both healers and vampires with magnetic force. Jung identified specific archetypes that are unconsciously drawn to empathic auras. The wounded child archetype. People carrying unhealed childhood trauma sense your capacity to witness and hold pain. They're drawn to you because your aura promises the unconditional acceptance they never received. The shadow projector. Individuals who've disowned parts of themselves unconsciously seek empaths to carry their rejected emotions. Your aura becomes a repository for what they refuse to feel. The energy vampire. Jung called these psychological parasites people whose own empathic development was stunted, so they've learned to survive by feeding on others' emotional energy. But Jung also identified positive archetypes drawn to empathic auras. The conscious seeker. Those doing their own inner work recognize your aura as a mirror for their own growth. They come not to take, but to resonate and co-evolve. The authentic self. People ready to embrace their full humanity are naturally drawn to the permission your aura gives them to feel deeply without shame. The danger lies in what I call archetypal confusion, when empaths can't distinguish between those who come to heal and those who come to feed. Your aura attracts both, but without conscious discernment, you'll drain yourself trying to transform people who aren't ready for transformation. If you've noticed that you attract both deeply spiritual people and deeply troubled people, comment, "I am an archetypal magnet."